ज्ञान मुझने मर्दो सम्यक चारित्र मुझने मर्दो नव पद्मी आराधन करता
Jai Jinendra, everyone. Pranam. Welcome to this Monday's Transformational Meditation class with Vishal Bhai. Today, the title is the Solar Plexus Chakra, hence the color yellow. I hope all of you have been enjoying the classes for the last few weeks. Certainly, the feedback we're getting is excellent and making a difference to all of you. So, without sparing any further time, I'll hand over to Vishal Bhai to commence the class. Vishal, over to you.
Thank you, Sandeep Bhai. Welcome everybody, Jai Jinendra. Namaste. So, as Sandeep Bhai said, yes, today is the class of the solar plexus. And before we start, just to thank everybody, thank the Oshwal committee, and really grateful for giving me this opportunity to be of service to all of you. We are up on the fourth session, and the fourth session, as we go up the energetic body, is all about the solar plexus. So I hope that you've all got your yellows, and I've got a kind of a beige color, but the light reflecting on it is a yellow color, so it makes it yellow. Today is all about that energy center, which is probably the most toughest, the most difficult to actually get through, because I'm sure all of us are blocked there, and if not now, then at least at some point in our lives, because it is everything to do with our legal and formal relationships, which includes our relationships with our families, right? Our birth families, our married families, etc. So this is the chakra that is quite tough to open, but we will try our best to do that today and share information with you so that, as you go along this week, you're able to actually open it up. Okay. So before I begin and go into the solar plexus, I want to see how many of you actually did the homework yesterday. I mean, last week. How many days of meditations did you do? How many days of chanting? If you could put that in the chat, that'd be nice to see how many days. Put down just the number. How many days of meditation and chanting you did. I hope it's more than 0 at least, okay? Or more than 1, okay? I'm just going to quickly click on the chat to see the numbers if they're coming in. Hope they'll start. I hope you haven't got issues like last week. But whilst you're putting that in, we are also going to begin this meditation, this short meditation, to have ourselves here so that we are fully present in this moment, so that we can get the best from this session, which is probably going to last about an hour, 15 minutes. Good, the numbers are coming in, 6, 4, fantastic. So higher numbers I'm seeing. I'd like to see more numbers coming in. You can maybe direct, a lot of them are direct message, I think, to me, or you can choose everyone. 3, 2, 5, fantastic. I like the 5s, the 4s. Anything above the 4s is good to see. But even if it's less than that, not to worry. Don't beat yourself up. You still have a chance to, do more of the meditations and chanting as we go along. Okay. Okay. I think that's someone saying everybody option again not there or disappearing, right? Okay. Maybe it's a tech issue that we might have. So you can maybe message it to me, #Vishal Shah, direct message, and I'll get the answers that are coming. Good, I'm getting 4, 6, brilliant. Okay, so keep them coming. But whilst you keep them coming, we're going to, wow, somebody got 7 chant sessions. Wonderful, that's really good. So yeah, keep them coming. And let us begin by just now, once you put your numbers down, just closing your eyes, bringing your full attention to this very moment. Starting to take deep breaths in, And just bringing your full attention, your complete focus to this very moment, allowing any stress, any anxiety of the day to just go through your body, out your hands, out your feet. And if there are any judgments, expectations of this session, of yourselves, of how it should be and how it should get you results maybe, or of myself with my funny hairstyle today, then just let them go. Okay? Allowing yourself to be fully present, because when we are fully present and we are open, we're able to get what we are supposed to receive today. Okay? Wonderful. Now taking a deep breath in again, slowly. And when you're ready, you may open your eyes. Brilliant. So I hope that's brought you all here. I'm seeing the numbers there. Fantastic. 467136341. Okay, good. So now with regards to today's session, let me share the slides. I'll just get onto the slides right now. There we go. And right, so that's session 4. Let's look at what we're going to do today. Introductions, we've already done that. Remind ourselves of our why and look at the scope of what we're doing today and over the last few weeks and what we're going to be doing in the next few weeks. Solar plexus chakra characteristics, we'll talk about that. And we will look at the symptoms. I shared those symptoms on the group, so I'm sure you're aware of what kind of symptoms. If you have them, you know that your solar plexus chakra is blocked. Lack of self-belief and self-doubt, we'll talk about that. I've got a beautiful example here that I want to share today. And then we will do get your score of how blocked your solar plexus is by using the app. So have your phones ready, have your apps open as well. So we are quickly able to go into the form and get it all ticked off. We also do the meditation exercise. So we'll do the guided meditation today, and it's a lovely meditation. Look, today is really about relationships. It's about family. So this meditation is going to help you, overcome any challenging relationships you might have with maybe a family member that you can pick today. And if you repeat this exercise over the week, I'm sure we do have more than one family member who you might have a challenging relationship with. So, you can repeat that this week. And then we'll do a little bit of sharing. We'll then conclude this session today and talk a little bit about next week. And then any Q&As, put your questions down. They'll be noted as we go along. And Anish or Sandeepa is going to ask me at the end of the session. Wonderful. So now let's just remind ourselves again of the scope. So what we are trying to do is, as we are clearing the chakras, we are allowing this energy to flow freely through us, up and down. As it goes through, that is our ultimate purpose, and that's what we are here to do as spiritual beings on this planet. Like I said, this is the Earth, the school planet where we learn our lessons. So the idea is to open these chakras up, the blocks, which are imprints, because we've, made some mistakes in our past. We've done certain things, like they said, our karma, all of that creates imprints on these chakras, and they leave an energetic stamp, which, through what we are doing will help release and let go of it, so that the channel becomes clear, right? So the energy flows better. So that's the overall scope of these sessions. But today's focus, like I said, is on the solar plexus, which, if you can see my mouse here, is also called the Manipura chakra. And it's situated right underneath your diaphragm, or just a little bit above your belly button, your navel there. So it's just right up there. And that's the focus of today's session, okay? Now, as the Kundalini rises, I'm going to switch to the next slide, but as the Kundalini rises, it requires for you to have these chakra centers open and balanced so that it can glide easily through. If there's blockages there and if it rises, it can cause a lot of havoc in your life, like it did in mine. So just all we are doing is clearing that channel. Now, why is it that we do this chakra healing and meditations? We've explained that in the whole picture in the previous slide. But now what I want you to write down is, before we go into what the solar plexus chakra is about, I want you to write down and remind yourselves of your why. So why is it that you are here doing these sessions? Again, every week as we remind ourselves of why we are here, that why will take us further. Okay, so just put down in the chat, is it something to do with relationships, or is it something to do with your health that you're looking at answers for, or is it something to do with your career, your purpose, or is it simply spiritual development or spiritual growth? Okay, I'm just going to quickly stop the share and look at the chat, see what's coming in. So to find your own peace, meditation, inner peace, fantastic. Health, fulfillment, to find my purpose, wonderful. Health, better understanding of myself, relaxation, brilliant. So again, like I said last time, when you write it down, it sets in, your why sets in, and if it's a lot stronger, then you will go really, really far. Okay. So you've got to hold on to that why. I held on to it and I found the answers that I was looking for. This was back about 10 years ago. So fantastic. Getting a few in again: health and spiritual enlightenment, find peace and health, relaxation, inner peace, aware of own self, unblock any chakras. Yes, brilliant. Inner peace and have stress-free life. Yeah, that's what we are all looking for, isn't it? Inner peace. Brilliant. So again, let me just share the slides. Thank you very much for sharing, everybody. Now, so as we go into the solar plexus chakra, what are the characteristics? Yes, as we know, the color is yellow, like we asked everyone to wear today. What about the element? Can someone type in, or can you type in, all of you, what is the element for the solar plexus? Let me see those answers coming in. Yes, fire, brilliant. Yes, it is. It is fire. Wonderful. The answers that have come in, excellent. So it is fire. And what about the beach mantra? That was in the previous slide. What is a beach mantra? Which is what we'll be chanting this week. This is homework for this week. And towards the end, if we get a chance, I will show you how it's chanted, like I did last week. Ram, brilliant. Yes, that's right. Ram, however way you want to spell it, but yeah, that's what it is. Good. So that's the beach mantra. What about the frequency? What is a frequency? Yes, spot on. Straight away, you got it. 5 to 8 hertz. Yes. Wonderful. You're very quick today at answering questions. Brilliant. What about the emotion? Now, if you remember, the sacral chakra was all about guilt. What is the emotion for this particular chakra, the solar plexus? Fear, somebody says, anger, shame, rage, shame again, anger. Anger is again a secondary emotion, and fear is usually a root chakra one, but also, it's connected a little bit to the solar plexus too. Jealousy, that's a good one. Yes, jealousy, self-doubt. I think there was a clue previously. Yes. So the main one, but self-doubt, jealousy also are emotions, negative emotions, especially for the solar plexus, the ones that block the solar plexus. But the main one is shame. Yeah, low self-esteem. Yes. So that's one as well. The main one is shame. Shame is that feeling of not being good enough, right? That's what shame means in this context. The feeling of not being good enough, and I'm sure a lot of us have, in our childhoods, have got an experience of that, from maybe our parents, our teachers, that I'm just not good enough, right? And we'll share examples later about that. So yes, it is shame. Let's go on to the next one. So now we come to the symptoms, which are the ones that I've already shared on the WhatsApp group. So the physical health symptoms, how do you know that your solar plexus is blocked? You have digestive issues, ulcers as a result of the solar plexus being blocked, skin problems too. It shows up in your skin. Chronic fatigue, low energy, poor metabolism, weight gain as well. Okay. In terms of your career and finances, lack of motivation, procrastination, fear of failure or of taking risks, feeling powerless, undervalued. Yeah. So in your career, if you're experiencing any of this, a big one for me was actually procrastination. I wasn't sure what to do, and then wasn't able to actually get myself up and going for whatever it is that I was doing at that time. So, and then relationships, lack of self-esteem and confidence, overly controlling or feeling dominated. So again, in your relationship, ask yourself, do you feel like either you are controlling or do you feel dominated by your partner or people around you in your family? Okay. Difficulty setting boundaries. So if you've got that problem as well in terms of setting boundaries in your relationships, then the solar plexus is blocked. Okay. Brilliant. So there are two questions, just like how there was for the sacral chakra. There are two questions you want to ask. The first question you want to ask is, how are your legal or formal relationships? Now, what do I mean by legal or formal relationships? Now, I'm just going to stop the share here slightly so that you can see me properly. Your legal and formal relationships are basically your birth family, okay? Because when you take birth on this planet, in that family, you get a birth certificate, so it's almost like a contract that you've got. And then also when you get married, you have a marriage certificate. So again, that's a legal binding contract. And then you also, when you have you work for somebody, for example, then you have an employment contract, right? So again, that's a binding contract. So this is where you form relationships at work. So anything that's legal, binding, formal, that has to do with the solar plexus. Now, if you want to ask yourself, if any of that is not going well, any of those relationships are not going well, maybe at home, at your workplace, your in-laws as well come into play, because if you're married, then relationships with them, then your solar plexus is blocked. Okay. Now they say a family is like a house of mirrors. Can you type in the chat, what do you think that means? A family is like a house of mirrors. Tell me in the chat, what do you think that means? Can shatter. It's a reflection of you. Fantastic. Yes. Everyone with the same values. Reflection of yourself in ways, what you lack, you see in others. Brilliant. Break easily, delegate. Yes. So a lot of you have got that understanding, right? So your family reflects what it is that you're holding within you. Okay. So if your relationships are not so good, if there is some kind of ill feelings between you and somebody else in the family, or any kind of emotions that are there, jealousy maybe, or greed, then that is a reflection of what you're holding within you. If there's a controlling relationship that you're in, also that's a reflection of what you're holding within you. So your family, your relationships with your family members are a reflection, and this is how you know. This is how you know what it is that you need to work on yourself. Okay. So brilliant. Thank you for all of you who have given your answers. And this is what it means. A family is like a house of mirrors, because it reflects what you are. Because think about this: your family is where, especially your close family, right, is where you are yourself, right? Otherwise, when you are outside with others, maybe even friends, we all kind of wear masks, isn't it? We put up a mask and we pretend to be, everything's hunky-dory and everything's good. But when it comes to being in the home environment, that's when our true nature comes out, and where that's where the demons come out, right? So this is where we get to know ourselves by looking at how the relationships in our families are. And I'm sure all of us must have one relationship at least that we need to work on, that we must be finding challenging, and it's there to really teach us something. Because one thing I'd like to tell you this is, when we come here on this planet, we come here deciding where we're going to be taking birth in, and we have contracts. We play a role. We decide a role that we want to play. Somebody might decide, right, for Vishal, I'm going to be very mean to him because I want him to learn such and such a thing. So this is where you need to figure out what is it that your loved one signed up for. Because if they're mean to you, what is it telling you about you, and what is it that you need to learn and evolve? Okay, so this is very important for you to understand, because the people who are actually causing issues in your life are actually your loved ones, believe it or not, because they are here to help you evolve, to help you move on this spiritual journey, because there's no other way you will be able to find out what to do in order to know what it is that you have to do to progress further on your spiritual journey, right? So the people who cause issues in your life, it could be friends, it could be family members. For example, I was bullied in school, so that to me was a fantastic. I mean, at that time I had no idea, but as I grew up and when I came to know about all this, it was just my loved one who was actually bullying me. So this is how we need to know and find out that, hey, what is it that I need to do within myself that can address this issue? Yes, it could be your husband, it could be your partner, your wife, whoever it is. Yeah. So, but they really are your loved ones. They're here to teach us a lesson. Okay. So this is what it means to be. What it means to be in a family is like a house of mirrors. Okay. Now let me just go back to the slides again. Just. There we go. So that's the first question we want to ask. How are your legal and formal relationships? Because that will tell you if they're not good. Even if one is not good, that means there's a blockage in the solar plexus chakra. Okay. The second one is, are you self-confident and do you consider yourself worthy enough? And this goes with not being good enough, right? As children, we were raised. Again, I'll just stop the share here for a while. So as children, we were raised, and we probably have been, many of us have been through, where we felt that we are not good enough. Maybe it was from our parents, from our teachers. Back in Kenya, where I was in school, we used to be caned, if we didn't do well at school, or, if there was some kind of mischief that we got up to, especially in primary school, and we actually experienced that. So imagine a child being caned or being hit by a teacher. What would they think, right? That, am I not good enough, or what have I done to deserve this, right? How must I be in order to not be hurt by my teacher? And the same with a parent. If a parent was being nasty to you, or if they were hitting you, and back in the days, it was a norm for our parents to hit us, right? I was hit, so it's something that a child then grows up with, as in, is there something wrong with me? Am I not good enough? And that shame remains with you. It sits in your solar plexus and it becomes a blockage. Okay. Now, sometimes it can come from way back in your past life too, as we talked about in our previous, where guilt, we found out that there was something coming from a past life. So it could be something that has been there for a long, long time. Okay. So this is how we need to figure out what it is that we're holding and where it's come from. How is it then we can let it go, right? And we'll talk more about it as we go into the meditation today, because this is where we can really improve our relationships with our family members. Those challenging relationships can really become good relationships. Yeah, that you can overcome those tough relationships that you might be in. Okay, brilliant. So I'm going to share again the slides. Okay, fantastic. So here is where I'm going to give you an example, which probably will help in understanding how we can overcome, self-doubt or lack of self-belief. This is again to do with the solar plexus. So I had somebody who came to me and felt that he didn't have much belief in himself, and he had a lot of self-doubt. He always was questioning himself about his life, his work, what he was doing, and the symptoms to show were he had skin issues, right? He had psoriasis on his skin. So straight away that told me that's a solar plexus issue, but we still wanted the superconscious mind to confirm. And when we went into the one-to-one session, then we found out that the superconscious kind of took us into a future life. Now, this is where a life where he saw himself as a half human and a half monkey, and he saw himself living on these tall trees on a very different planet, on a different galaxy. Now, when he saw himself as that, but he was by himself, he was there was no family around him. He was living a life by himself, and he was a guard. He was actually a guard in that life. So he was protecting the community, the clan that he was part of, and when he saw that, what had happened was from a different clan that was a neighboring clan, they wanted to kind of have a conflict. There was a conflict that was brewing between the two clans, and the reason for that was they were blaming someone from this clan that he was in that taken something, an artifact kind of from them. So in order to avoid that conflict, he was put in charge to find that artifact and give it back to the other clan, because they just wanted to prove that it wasn't them that had actually stolen it. And this was a future life because it was very kind of sci-fi. The way he described it was basically he then by himself went in this spacecraft, which was all steered by him, no one else. And he moved from planet to planet, galaxy to galaxy in that spacecraft. Now he ended up in another galaxy where he went to meet somebody, and that person directed him to where he was supposed to find that artifact. And when he found that artifact, he brought it back. The head of the clan then gave it to the other clan members, and thus there was no conflict. Now the lesson for him in this was just the superconscious just wanted to show him that, hey, you feel like you have lack of self-belief, you have self-doubt, but hey, look at you in this life where you are actually living by yourself. The whole life he lived by himself, and by himself he was so brave that he actually went into his spacecraft, went from one galaxy to the other to find this artifact. And once he found it, he brought it back, and he did everything to save that conflict from happening. So imagine he played such a huge role in avoiding that conflict and doing it all by himself. And just by seeing that, and that deep realization set in that, hey, I can actually do things by myself. I don't need anyone to do things for me, or I don't need anyone's help, and with that came that self-belief, and he overcame that self-doubt. So this very much had to do with the solar plexus, and because of that, his solar plexus opened up, which is what he needed to do. So this is where how it works in terms of where the superconscious can actually help you and guiding you to get to the root of where, or at least giving you that you can see how it is that you are in a future life or a past life where you were once actually that brave and courageous, and you bring that over to this life, right? So I thought I'd share that example here. In fact, the story is actually shared here on my YouTube channel. If you type in Vishal Shah meditation, you will go onto my YouTube channel. You will find it in one of the videos there. In fact, I think you can see it here. There you go. And once you're there, I'll really appreciate if you do subscribe to the YouTube channel. That would be wonderful. So now, sharing that story, let's move on to the next stage, where we're actually going to now find out how blocked your solar plexus is. Okay, so all I want you to do is, you have done this before, I'm sure, is open up the app and click on Learn from the menu at the bottom. We want to find out what your score is. So where my mouse is where you can see Learn. It's right in the middle between Discover and Profile. You probably can't see these two icons yet. And once you've done that, this should open up. And you want to click on the free online masterclass. Okay, click on that free online masterclass. And once that opens up, you'll see the form, the third form down. So that's the root chakra form, which you did previously, then the sacral chakra form, and then the solar plexus chakra form. Okay, when you click on that, it should open up like this, where you're able to then scroll down again and get to this part. So you just fill in your email, your name, first and last, and then the place where you need to just, if you agree, tick on that box with regards to GDPR, and then fill in the questions. Okay, I'll go along with you on those questions. Let me just get into my app. You can start, by the way, filling those questions in, and at the end you'll get a score, and from that score we will be able to determine how much blocked your solar plexus is. Okay, so I'm just going to go into the form now, and as I'm going into it, I'll read out the questions. By now you should have filled in your email, your name, and the first question is, do you lack the will to achieve your goals? And then you just quickly answer these questions, give a tick on the right one that you feel is correct for you. Number two, do you suffer from inferiority complex? Okay, do you feel like you're always the inferior ones, that other people are always better than you? That's what it means. Number three, are you feeling an inner void and suffer from anxiety? So tick on that one. Do you have this kind of experiences where you feel like there's something missing in your life? There's a void within. Number four, do you feel confused and worry about what others think? And again, choose the right one. Do you feel confused, maybe about life, work, etc.? And what do you also worry about what others think? Maybe about you, about your family. Number five, are you insecure and have low self-confidence and low self-esteem? See yourself maybe when you're asked to talk in front of people, do you feel like you're not confident enough? You don't find yourself worthy enough? So tick the relevant one. Do you feel that others control your life? So this is again, primarily in a family environment. Do you feel like your life is controlled? You're told what to do and you've got to listen to others. You feel dominated, yeah? Number seven, do you feel like you are the victim and you tend to blame others for things going wrong in your life? So at some point in our lives, we're all here where we feel like, like I was, when I was growing up, like I said, bullied, etc., felt like a victim, and I was always blaming others for that. And we do, don't we? That's how we've grown up to be. But we realize that actually, hang on, this is someone trying to tell me about myself. Number 8, do you lack self-love and self-acceptance? So do you not love yourself? Do you find it difficult to accept the way you are, who you are? Number 9, are you usually exhausted and do you burn out quickly? Okay. Do you find that you're exhausted by the end of the day or even in the middle of the day and you feel like you're burnt out? And then number 10, do you have an obsessive compulsive disorder? So I've heard of many people who've got this, like they have an OCD about keeping things clean and tidy, and they can't have things lying around, and so have you got an OCD? And then we move on to the physical symptoms. So again, like I said, you don't want to spend too much time doing these. You just want to quickly, the best way to do it is whatever comes first to your mind. Do you suffer from eating disorders like anorexia, bulimia, or overeating? Do you suffer from those? Number 2, in the physical symptoms, do you get stomach ulcers or heartburn? Again, that's a physical symptom if you have that. Do you have skin or muscular system issues? Okay. If you've got that, then tick the relevant box. If you don't, then obviously the first one, not at all. Have you or your parents had diabetes or pancreas problems? So again, tick the relevant one. And the final one, have you or your parents had liver problems or gallstones? Okay. So once you do that, you submit your questions. You will get a score at the end. Once you've got the score, I'd like you to put it down. Put it down and let's see how you are doing. What scores have you got? I'm just going to stop the share. So I've got the scores coming in now. Fantastic. 12, 15, 13, 18, 9, 14. Brilliant. So essentially, if you've got a score between 0 and 9, it means your solar plexus is open. So you should be proud of yourself, which is fantastic. I've got a couple of people who got 4s in that. That's really good. If you've got it between 10 and 19, then it is slightly blocked. Yeah, it is slightly blocked. And anything above 20, then it is definitely blocked. It is quite blocked, okay? So some of the scores coming in are quite low, which is good to see. So 9, 6, 9. That means that you don't have to focus on this solar plexus chakra. Focus on the other chakras that you found where your scores may be higher that you need to work on, okay? So brilliant. I've got a 19 there, a 6 again. Wonderful. So this is what we need to understand, that, if the scores is between 0 and 9, then that's really good. If it's above 9, then slightly blocked, 10 to 19, and above 20 is obviously quite blocked. Yeah. So a score of 19, 6, 6, 22 has come in. Brilliant. Fantastic. So keep the scores coming in. And now what we're going to do is we're going to now get back to the slide. So the next thing is about this meditation. Okay. So we'll be doing a meditation to help us open the solar plexus. Okay. Now, here I want us to understand how we're going to do this meditation. So last week, if you think about it, I'm going to stop the share there again so you can see me. The guilt that we went through and how we actually overcome that guilt, or we let go of that guilt, is by forgiving ourselves. Okay. How we let go of shame or that feeling of not good enough is by forgiving ourselves and also forgiving those who have done things to us, who have hurt us, or who have made us feel like we were not good enough. Like I gave examples, like it could be our parents, it could be anyone in our family, uncles, aunts, grandparents, siblings as well, could be friends, anyone that have made us feel that we were not good enough. Now, ideally, the solar plexus, like I said, is very much about legal contracts. So you want to pick somebody today from your close family, or your partner, if you're married, your in-laws, or anyone that you feel that has really hurt you and made you feel like you are not good enough. Okay, And usually as we would do this meditation, that person will come up. So even if you don't pick them now, the person that will come up straight away as we are in meditation is the one you want to work with today. Okay, so the idea is that we not only forgive ourselves, but we are also forgiving them, because see, the way some of us may not find it in our heart and may find it difficult to forgive people who have hurt us, right? Put down in the chat if you find it difficult to, forgive somebody who's hurt you. Just say yes in the chat. It is very hard. Yes, indeed, it is very hard to do. Now, I'll teach you how you can actually do this. The way you can do this is, if you think about us as same with everyone else, it's only on this planet that we are separate. We are seen as separate beings, but effectively, we are all one. Okay, we are all one. Whether you believe there is a creator out there or not, or in Jainism, there is no creator as such, but we are all, there's a creator in all of us, and we are all creators. Okay, and we are all beings that are connected. All of us are connected. So if we see ourselves as one with others, and we put ourselves in their shoes, we put ourselves in the shoes of those that have hurt us. So it could be, like I said, anyone from your family, anyone that you are in a legal binding contract with, your partner, married family, etc. Yeah. So if you put yourself in their shoes, and now, you must have heard about the saying which goes, hurt people hurt others. Okay. So for them to have hurt you, they would have been hurt themselves. Okay. So they would have gone through a time in their lives where they have experienced being let down, being disappointed. They would have gone through a very tough time. Yeah. And because of that, they hurt others. Now, when you step into their shoes, you actually feel how it is that they have been through their life. They are hurt too. They are hurt people. And when you feel what they've been through, then there's nothing else that you can do but forgive them, isn't it? Because it's not really their fault that they've done this to you. It's because they are hurting themselves, and this could all be an unconscious pattern inside of them, which is making them hurt you. Okay? And when you do that, when you step into their shoes and you feel how they've felt, how they've led their lives, how they too have been hurt by others, then there's nothing else but you can feel sorry for them, right? You feel sorry for them. And when we come from that place, then all you can do is forgive them, right? So this is what we want to do. We want to not only forgive ourselves for holding that shame, and because of that shame we might have had anger towards these people, we might have resented them, but we also forgive them because we can see ourselves as one with them. Okay. Now I know it may not be easy for everyone, but let us try, at least try, and then maybe during the week when you practice this meditation again, you'll be able to forgive them truly. Because ideally, the way, I know we go through in our religion, we, especially during Paryushan, we ask for forgiveness, but we don't really do it from our hearts, and that's why this still remains. And the way it remains within us, because as soon as we see them, maybe the next day or the day after, even after we've done Michamidukram to them, is we get triggered, and that trigger is telling us that we are still holding something against them. That's how you can tell that the blockage is still here. If you have this sudden trigger that, oh gosh, look, I have to see him again or her again, oh, there he is again, or that feeling of an ill feeling within you means that you're still holding something against them. In order for us to truly let it go in this meditation, if you do it really well, you will feel this energy leaving your body. You will feel this imprint leaving your body. Okay? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do this meditation today. We're going to forgive them with love and from deep within. Okay? So let's do this. You sell yourselves. I'm going to just attach the microphone and the headphones so that you can hear me clearly and have the music on as well, because this meditation is quite important, and especially when sorry about that, especially if you're doing it together, it's quite powerful. So whilst I connect this together, I want you to find a comfortable position such that you are sitting relaxed, not too relaxed that you fall asleep, okay? But also that you're not feeling any pain or anything anywhere as you are, or any kind of discomfort as you're sitting there, okay? So I've got my headphones on and my microphone on, connected. I'm going to share the music now. And just let me know if you can hear my voice and the music at the same time quite clearly, or is the music too loud?
Perfect.
It's good? Okay, fantastic. Alright, so just closing our eyes. Music okay, thanks Rina. Music okay and voice is okay. Just close your eyes, taking deep breaths in. Deep breaths in. You see the breath that you're taking in as prana, the life force energy that surrounds us. Golden in color, going in through your nostrils, into your lungs, and out. As you keep on breathing deeply, allowing the music to take you deeper and deeper. Bringing your full attention, your complete focus to this very moment. If there are any thoughts that come, let them pass like white clouds in a blue sky, just passing by. And now with the next deep breath in, imagine you have gone with your friends on a mountain climbing trip. You have rented a mountain lodge and you've woken up early in the morning with your friends still asleep. Wander out. It's a nice sunny day. Yet there is a slight chill in the air. As you look around, you see and feel the presence everything displays. You also see how the colors seem to glow and appear brighter. You can feel a slight breeze. You take in the fresh mountain air as you breathe deeply, and you can hear the birds chirping in the background. As you focus on the environment around you, you see the mountain peaks, the green forests, the clear blue sky. The sun having risen high up now, you look down at the expanse of the gentle peaks that surround you, and you step forward and walk towards an enclosed campfire that has been burning away from last night. Going nearer to it and sitting by it, you feel the warmth that it radiates. You notice how the flames rise. You hear a crackling sound of the wood that burns away, and you sense the smoke as it goes up in the air. Sitting down on a log, you now close your eyes. And as you do so, you bring up a birth family member with whom you have a difficult relationship. This may be your father, your mother, your sister, your brother, your aunt or uncle, or a cousin. As you see them in front of you, notice if there is any discomfort in your solar plexus area, just below your rib cage and above your belly button, or anywhere else in your body. Seeing them right there in front of you, you tell them about everything that they've done to you, or maybe even still doing to you. Taking a minute or so here just to tell them in your mind's eye everything that you've been through with them, which has made you feel like you are not good enough. Having told them everything that they've done to you, or are still doing to you, you now tell them how all of this is making you feel, how it made you feel. How much hurt you are, how they made you feel belittled, and how their actions caused a lot of issues in your life at that time. Really feel the emotions rise and surface as you do so. Even maybe emotions of anger, resentment, frustration towards them. And let them come up. having told them everything that they did and how it made you feel. Maybe they hurt you somehow, maybe they didn't love you enough, maybe they didn't care for you, maybe they did not respect or understand you. Having felt what you experienced in this relationship, as you now know that family is like a house of mirrors, whatever it is that you're experiencing with them is a reflection of what you're lacking within you. If they didn't love you enough, that's because you lacked love within you. If you didn't feel heard in that relationship, that's because you lacked self-respect. And if you felt controlled in the relationship, that's because you did not value yourself enough. So now, having come to that realization that this that you sought outside of you, whether it was love, whether it was wanting to be heard, whether it was freedom, is just a reflection of what you lack within. You understand that this is the way the universe is trying to tell you what it is that you need to address inside of you. Accepting it, you know the only way you can address this is by understanding why is it that they did what they did. And then forgive them with love. In order to forgive them with love, initially the thought of forgiveness and forgiving them may not resonate with you. But as you step into their shoes and become one with them, knowing that we are all one, all connected, as you do that, you figure that they too went through their own trauma. They too were hurt, let down, and disappointed somehow in their lives. Knowing and understanding that hurt people hurt others, you realize that it wasn't really their fault that they hurt you. Possibly an unconscious pattern that has been playing in their lives. And as you feel their hurt by stepping into their shoes, what they have been through in their lives, you feel sorry for them. They too have been through very tough times. As you get this understanding of your loved ones, you now find it in your heart to forgive them with love, knowing that it was just a pattern that was repeating over and over again. The only way to get out of this cycle is to forgive them from your heart and with a lot of love. And as you forgive them and you just let it go, this that you have been holding against them for many, many years, you allow it to be released. As you let it go, feel the stillness from within. And you also hear the silence inside of you. Really forgiving them from your heart with a lot of love. As you do this, you release their energy from your whole being, from your body, from your organs, from your nerves, your fibers, and right from your cells and DNA. You let this energy go. As this energy releases from your body, notice where it is being let go from, and allow yourself some time here to fully release this energy. If you want, you may repeat, forgiving them with love over and over again. Now really having stepped into their shoes and realizing that it was just a karmic cycle that was playing. They too have been hurt in their life. And hurt people hurt others. And as you realize that, you are able to really forgive them from your heart. Allowing this energy to be released, this imprint that has been left in your energy center for many, many years, now all released. And as this happens, you now see them moving away from your vision. The energy having gone from your being and your body. You now feel this love through the warmth of the fire that is in front of you, coming in, radiating towards you, and filling up that void that has been left by this energy that has just gone. As it comes in into your solar plexus, breathe it in, You also feel the sun on your back, giving you that energy, again funneling into your solar plexus as you breathe it in more and more. Feel its love too. And as you do so, your solar plexus gets bigger and bigger in size, expanding throughout your body as you take in long, deep breaths. Allow more and more of this energy to come in from the front and back, from the fire and the sun. Visualizing this energy of motivation, willpower, self-confidence, self-esteem, flowing right into the upper part of your abdomen, just above your belly button. And now see this golden yellow sphere spreading out to the rest of your body. When you visualize it this way, each breath pulls energy into you, fills you up, making you more energized and feeling much lighter and buoyant. Having energized you this way, solar plexus now returns back to its original size and position just under your ribcage, above your belly button. And in gratitude of the fire, you hold your arms out and bring them together, bowing down. You then get up, turn around, facing the sun above, and with your eyes closed, you again hold your arms out and then bring them together, bowing down in gratitude. You then take 3 deep breaths, starting to walk back to the lodge. As you do so, you bring yourself back to where you started from, back on your seat. And on the 4th breath in, when you're ready, you may open your eyes. Okay. So, how was it for you? If you'd like to share, put it in the chat how you felt the meditation was. It'd be nice to know and see how you felt. So yeah, this is a way to let go of those imprints. Amazing, fantastic, difficult to concentrate today. That's fine. You can always repeat it. Thank you. Felt very relaxed. Nice, felt sleepy, really good. A bit sleepy but emotional. Yeah, it's a bit emotional, you're right. Initially was trying to find people I wanted to forgive. Okay. Lots of tears. The wrong person popped into my head, derailed me. Okay. Maybe that person was meant to be there. Mind kept wandering. That's fine. You can repeat this. Very emotional, peaceful, relaxing. Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much for your shares. Keep them coming in. So let me just quickly share now the slides again. We are there. Brilliant. So yes, that was a meditation. We'll go into the sharings, Q&A at the end. But before we finish and go into the Q&A, just want to mention thank you, for trying this out today, and thank you for being here. And next week, before is actually going to be our last session for this year. We are back again in January because we're going to take a break. But next week will be the heart chakra. Okay, so we are either wearing pink or green, or maybe a bit of both. That's up to you to decide. Brilliant. So at this point, I'll stop this share. And if there are any questions, I'm happy to answer, because I know we are also conscious of time. We don't have much time because this meditation was slightly long.
Great. Well, thank you again, Vishal, for yet another excellent session. I hope everyone enjoyed it. Didn't seem like many people faced issues with the app or the form today, but if you did, please stay tuned for a message on the WhatsApp group later today. But yeah, I guess I've got a couple of questions here to jump straight into. The first one was, weren't the chakras designed or realized well before formal relationships existed?
Well, the chakras have been part of us, from years back on. So every being, whether it be the first dimension, second dimension, third dimension, the fourth dimension that we are going into now, and all the way up to the 12th, have got chakras. And because we are here on the third and fourth dimension, we have chakras which are slightly different to other beings, and very much to do, with what we talked about today, especially the solar plexus. So for different dimensional beings, there will be different chakras. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, then moving on to the next question. Is there a session where we will be able to go to our subconscious minds?
That's a good question. It's difficult to do that in a large group like this. Ideally, that's what we do on a one-to-one basis, because it's very much, based on the feedback or the communication that happens between me and their subconscious or superconscious mind. So that's really done on a one-to-one. But those who have been to the workshops, I do a live demonstration there, so they can certainly witness that if they attend.
Okay. An interesting question. I think this next one will apply a lot to the Indian and the brown community. If parents have had pancreatic issues, diabetes, and so forth, how does that block our solar plexus?
So it's not that the diabetes or pancreatic issues block the solar plexus. It's because of the blockages in the solar plexus is a result of the illness that we have. Whether it's diabetes or any other illnesses. So really, those are symptoms, not the cause.
Right. I think that was, yeah. And then, yeah, the next one, should we stop forgiving during Parushan if we really don't mean it?
There's no harm. There's no harm in, forgiving. I think, don't get me wrong, Parushan is a fantastic event. It brings to light all the reasons why we should forgive, and actually being there, in fact, I myself, was at a Parushan that I was connected to the right person who showed me the path, who, 2-minute conversation said to me, Vishal, just start meditating. So events like these held by the community are very, very important.
Yeah.
It's just that, it's always good to try and forgive from a very, very, from a deeper level, we sometimes just do it from a very conscious level, and then it's not as effective. That's what I meant, yeah.
Okay. Cool. And then, yeah, sort of following on from that, how do you keep forgiving someone that sort of continuously triggers you, even if it feels counterproductive and you feel like you're wasting your time and energy?
Yeah, so sometimes what you find is there could be somebody who can be very toxic. So if you've done this process and you feel like you've really forgiven them and that energy has truly left your body or your being and you felt it leave your body, then you know that you've done your part. And yet, if they are still toxic, then it is time for, if it's a family member, and I always say this, we can't really get rid of our family members because they are who they are. They are our brothers or sisters or parents, etc. Right? So we can take a break though. We can go away for a while, take a break, or we can, even stay away from them. That's not an issue. The thing is, staying away doesn't mean that you don't love them. You should. The idea with family members is you've got to love them unconditionally, no matter where you are, from whatever place you are. You've got to have that love for them. Now, if you are still triggered by them, it just means that you haven't really released that energy. The trigger is essentially the way you can tell that you've not done your work properly. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then I think this one was during the meditation, someone asked they felt like they repeatedly wanted to forgive themselves. Sort of how do you go about those feelings?
Forgive themselves. So
Yeah.
that's the meditation we did last week, very much about guilt, where guilt that we hold that requires self-forgiveness. So we forgive ourselves that way. So they could do the previous week's meditation.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and that can be accessed via the YouTube link in the WhatsApp chat.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, and then this is going on to the chanting. When we chant the mantras, do we chant 9 ohms before each different beach?
Each mantra. So yeah, 9 ohms first, and then, for example, for this week, by the way, thanks for reminding me. Actually, for this week, chant 9 ohms, then 9 rams, and then 9 rams. Okay, uh, you want to do that at least once a day. If you can do it 4 times, which makes it 108, that's a fantastic number. But if you've got time, of course, yeah, and obviously do the meditation at least once a day.
Yep. Will it be possible to access the meditations directly via the app?
Uh, Via the app, yes, there is a daily meditation plan on there, which has all the meditations recorded in there.
Cool.
But it's accessible. It's not sure whether I'm allowed to say this, but there's a fee for that, where you've got to, there's 30 plus meditations that you can get for that fee. And if you want that, just send me a message. I can, give you the link.
Okay. Just been informed, unfortunately, we are out of time for today's session. So thank you everyone for joining, and we will see you next Monday at 8 o'clock.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, everyone. Jai Jinendra, Namaste. Thanks, Sandeep Bhai, and thanks, Anish, too. Everyone have a wonderful week.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.